This one is for the girls and the gays out there. Now, if you know me, perhaps you know that I really like my silly little games.
I work all day, forgetting to eat, not wanting to sleep. I did the same the day after, and the one after that.
But one thing I love even more is when they have LGBTQ representation. Honestly, it's gotten to the point where I've been persuaded to play a game just because they have queer characters. But I'm here right now making this video so I can help all you little gays find your little gay games to play. Yes, you heard correctly. Here's 5 games that include specifically WLW representation. I tried to include games that might not seem so obvious. You know about The Last of Us Part 2 and Life is Strange already, so I just wanted to span out a little bit, experiment with genre and style, and pick games that have either flown under the radar or might not have so obvious queer representation in them. But yes, these are some of my favorites, and although some of them are quite old, they are still... Without further ado, here's my list. By the way, this is in no particular order. Let's go! My first recommendation is the Dragon Age series. Of course. Although Origin is so old, you have to start with it. Trust me. Dragon Age is a fantasy RPG who puts your character, who is different in each game, in the position of saving Thedas from imminent doom. What? Thedas being the place where this whole thing is set. Throughout the game, you get to recruit companions, which help you out with the many quests that are thrown your way. Kind of sounds like another game I know. You also get to delve really deep into their backstories, as well as other deep holes and caves. And come on, kid, don't make it weird. These games are also reliant on the choices you make. Some have a bigger impact in some of the games than others do. And you can even have cute little romances with your companion. And yes, that's obviously including same-sex ones as well.
I would not object to a closer relationship between us, my lady.
I like this game because even outside of your romance, the other characters express diverse sexualities and gender identities, which is incredibly progressive for the time that this game was made.
I remember it didn't take much to make you sing.
Were you in a choir together?
On top of this, the story to this game is just really good. You'll be doing a lot of slaying, and I mean that literally. I love this next game. Hong Kong: A Summer's End, 1986. To be honest, I can't really remember how I found this game, but it's a WLW visual novel with stunning visuals and an amazing soundtrack. This game gives 80s city pop, and as the title says, it's set in Hong Kong. You play as Michelle, who is a businesswoman who somewhat accidentally has to explore her sexuality when she meets another woman, Sam. Throughout the game, you get to explore the bustling life of 80s Hong Kong, and honestly, I cannot put into words how pretty this game is. You just have to go check out the trailer. It looks like a lot of love was put into this game because it explores on one side a lot of social commentary, but on the other side, just great aesthetics and gorgeous fashion. So if you want something that's a little bit more mature, but also in like an 80s anime style visual novel, definitely check this one out. And yes, to save you the research, you can make it spicy if you want to. The next game on my list is Fire Emblem, specifically Three Houses, because for this franchise, this is probably the easiest game to get into for first-time players. I was so obsessed with this game at one point that I did a case study on the gameplay and game mechanics during my games design degree. Basically split into 2 types of gameplay. The first one is a turn-based battle system, which becomes easier and more fun to play once you get used to it. And the second is an open world section where you collect items, talk to other characters, and build relationships with them. Oh yeah, and like the most important part, training them for battle. It's also a bit quirky because you can like put characters next to each other in battle to build their relationship up, and some characters have perks where like if they're put next to a woman character, they get a buff. It's just silly. It's really fun to play though.
It all seems so much brighter with you here.
I hate you.
Huh.
The game has a really solid story and also a few different paths you can take, which completely change your perspective on the events that happen. Not only can you romance characters as the main character, but you can also romance other characters and kind of like ship them together, which is really fun.
Something could even spark between the two of us. You and I. Now that is an entertaining thought. If such an exciting future is in store, I look forward to it.
And this game does allow same-sex relationships, however, it is restricted to certain characters, so be prepared to either do your research or be rejected by some of them. It's also a bit of a side-eye that the characters are either straight or bisexual, but never purely same-sex, but the game's still fun regardless. They should just probably grow some balls.
I hate you.
The next game, Gone Home, which is one of the more recent additions to my library actually. This game is an explorative narrative that focuses on our main character Katie, who's come home to find that her family is completely absent from the home, and she has to investigate why. It is suggested that the house is haunted, but honestly, as I was walking through, it wasn't really that scary. It just kind of had the theme to it. It's more focused on the fact that you are looking around the house, finding clues, and really just piecing together a story about what happened to her sister and her parents. The reason this game gained traction is less so because of the gameplay, but more so because it focuses on games as an art form. And of course, there is a large focus on LGBTQ themes throughout. This is a good addition to the list because it's a really short game that you can smash out really quickly, around 3 hours if you look at everything. And if I had to relate it to another game, it has the mechanics similar to Life is Strange, where you look at something, you get a description, you move on, you discover new things, etc., etc. It's nice, it's cute, I really enjoyed it. As for my last game, you're just gonna have to hear me out on this one, okay? I know it's not technically a WRW game, but because of the nature of it, I know I won't get in trouble for putting it on the list. Okay, ready? Bayonetta 1 and 2.
I feel like a celebrity in this town.
Don't talk about Bayonetta 3. And I know this one isn't canonically gay. It hurts me that it is not. But come on, this game is literally just slaying angels and voguing. It is honorary gay. If you are any type of gay, you'll love this game. And it's crazy to me how many people don't actually know what it's about. Like, they just think it's a serious game. It's not. I could try and explain Bayonetta to people who don't know what it's about, but I think it's just better I show you. So here's a clip. Okay, I'll do my best. This game is based around the biggest baddie, Bayonetta, also known as Caesar. She has to fight through hordes of angels to save her girlfriend, friend, Jean's soul from the Inferno. That was a mouthful, what? I actually can't remember whether that was the first or second game, now that I'm thinking about it, but I just know you do a lot of saving Jean. Bayonetta just has also a lot of lore that you can look into. I would recommend doing it after the game, just so you can kind of reflect on what's happened. But yes, anyway, no one can mess with Bayonetta. No matter how hard things get, Bayonetta can single-handedly take it down. As the game goes on, things get more and more ridiculous, and honestly, the first time I played, I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but I was still having fun. And just when you think things can't get any more crazier, it does. It always gets crazier. Don't ever think it doesn't get crazier. But yeah, that's it. Play Bayonetta. Do it.
What do you need? A wake-up kiss or something?
So that concludes my list. I hope you all enjoyed this little video and got some good recommendations. I know these sorts of games can be kind of hard to find because they're far and few between, especially if you want to find a good one. So I hope I found you one that you could at least try out. Thank you so much for supporting me on this video. I really appreciate it. Everyone's been so kind to me as I am exploring my YouTube journey. If you like this video, please leave a subscribe, please leave a like. I'll be making so much more. I am really enjoying it, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.